Well, good morning, everybody, and thank you for coming today for this really awesome announcement. We've worked hard on this with our partners at MEDC, and it's great to see Mr. Mason here and his staff who have helped get this done for us. So, as I understand it, we're the largest community in the state that's achieved a redevelopment ready status, and we're quite proud of that because we pride ourselves on doing a good job of being redevelopment ready. We have, I think, the world's best development center. We have an awesome planning staff. We're good at execution on the ground, and we're really good at public-private partnerships. And and this, I think, is confirmation of that. So when the staff came in and did our assessment, and we did our self-assessment, we found that we really did well in many things. But there were areas where we could do better, and that's really, I think, the value of redevelopment-ready communities is helping with the self-assessment and the staff assessment, figuring out what you can do better to take your game to the next level. We were talking just before we started here, and Birgit mentioned one of my favorite phrases, and that is that economic development's a team sport. And Birgit, you personify that. And it's we do that really well here, and really well in Grand Rapids, really well our staff, Kara Wood, leading our staff in economic development, and we've done some really amazing things working with the Right Place, with the Chamber of Commerce. Rick Baker is here. I see him. There he is. And Andy Johnson, of course. But we've done really good, really kind of amazing redevelopment projects here. But it only happens because of our ability to do partnerships and our ability to be patient, to trust each other, to have the right relationships and be willing to co-invest. And those are traits of this community, gifts of this community that I'm committed, and I know our staff is committed to helping endure over time, because that's really what's made us very successful. Also, I want to recognize Adam Erber, who is here on behalf of State Representative or State Senator Hildenbrand, and Commissioner Kelly is here, and I know the mayor will be joining us in a little bit. So here's a little bit about our history with redevelopment ready communities. So we started thinking about this in 2015, and in August our City Commission committed to participation. We submitted our self-evaluation in October of that year, and we took some time to get some things in order, and on March 2017 we got a report back from NBC that were the findings, and we'd already implemented 2/3 of the best practices, and so we had a little bit of work to do on about 1/3 of them, and we got that done. So we completed that work over the past year, and here we are today with this really important outcome. And the results are that we'll be more predictable in terms of results for both the investment community and our residents. There'll be more transparency about our development process, and there'll be more resources available for all segments of the community. And so I'm really honored to work at a community that achieves accreditation in a variety of things. This is a very important accreditation for us. Our fire department is also accredited. Hello, Mayor. We're working on accreditation and have almost achieved it for our police department. And there are other accreditations that we're working on as well. So we believe in best practices and doing things the very best we can. So I'm honored. I'm very happy to be here and honored to work with this staff. So Lou Canfield will come up next and provide some more details about how we got here and our role. So, Lou?
Thank you, Eric. Good morning. My name is Lou Canfield, and I'm the city's Development Center manager. The city generally, and the Development Center specifically, have long been committed to being redevelopment ready, which has been a dynamic challenge. Over time, our customers' needs have changed, and the community's needs have changed. Redevelopment Ready Communities certification process affirmed many of our ongoing practices, identified some opportunities for improvement, and motivated us to achieve those improvements. The certification process dovetailed with other initiatives that helped us to get here today. The recently completed website redesign provided us with the capabilities needed for some of the improvements noted in the final certification report. The new development process generator tool, which starts with a question and answer process about a proposed project and ends with a dynamic report of what to do next, could not have been completed without the web redesign. The same is true of the new online process flow diagrams that identify responsibility, time frames, and helpful resources for navigating the major city processes that apply to a development project. I want to thank Customer Services Manager Becky Jo Glover, the GR Digital team, and most especially Dylan Postma, who did the hard work of implementing these new tools, which make the development process more transparent and accessible for everyone, not just people who have been through the process before. The certification process also complemented the broader community's desire to guide investment according to the master plan and area-specific plans, as well as for neighborhood-compatible projects. The master plan and area-specific plans are more accessible to the public than ever before, and a formalized public participation plan has also been created. The public participation plan will help to align city staff, stakeholders, elected officials, and applicants with consistent approaches to public outreach and engagement, and the plan will evolve through the work of the Multi-Stakeholder Development with Us team and the Development Center Advisory Council. I want to thank Planning Director Suzanne Schultz, Planning Department staff, and specifically Layla Islani and Landon Bartley, who have an exemplary commitment to public participation and are continuing to improve our outreach and engagement efforts. The Redevelopment Ready Community certification process has resulted in specific improvements to city services, and more importantly, has motivated us to keep getting better so that Grand Rapids will develop in ways that benefit us all. We will maintain a high level of transparency, as well as the review, permitting, and inspection services that serve the public interest. We will do these things in reasonable and predictable ways that minimize administrative friction during the development process. I now want to invite forward Carol Wood, the city's Managing Director of Economic Development Services, who led our efforts to achieve certification.
Thanks. I think you took my talking points. Nope, the other page. So much for being strategic. Well, thanks, Lou, and thanks everyone for being here this morning. From the economic development perspective, there were a couple of key best practices that we worked really hard on perfecting. The first one being the economic development strategy. And this evaluates what goals and actions a community has identified to assist in strengthening our overall economic development health. We completed a current state evaluation of our economic development strategy, and we are poised to update that economic development strategy with our City Commission over the next year. We have posted that on the website for transparency purposes so that the community knows and understands what our strategy is. We will use redevelopment ready community examples in the future as we begin to update our next plan. In terms of priority redevelopment sites, another best practice of this program is to assess how our community identifies, visions, and markets our priority redevelopment sites. Thinking strategically about the redevelopment of properties and investments in targeted areas and properties that'll have the potential for positive future redevelopment. The three that we are currently in the process of actively marketing and working on are the Ashley Capitol site, the former Steelcase campus, which continues to evolve. We have a marketing partnership that we pursued with MEDC and the West Michigan Economic Partnership, along with Walker View, a project that we're working with the city of Walker on to continue to market and expand. In addition, the 201 Market site, the relocation and disposition of a city-owned property is key to our future as well. And so those three properties made up our priority redevelopment sites, and those will change over time. But we now know the best practice of marketing and promoting those sites. I want to mention that this is a shared certification with the community, and we're grateful for our partners who are here with us today because it wouldn't be possible without all of you. I'd also like to recognize staff that have participated specifically in this redevelopment process. Alex Melton, who started as an intern helping us with the initial assessment, Emily Madsen, who continues the ongoing reporting requirements, John O'Closter, Economic Development Center staff, Suzanne Schultz, Lou Canfield, Kristen Turkelson, and of course our MEDC staff, who we continue to work with on a regular basis. Thank you all. So it's with the support of the mayor and the city commission that the city is committed to the RRC best practices and have allowed us to take the necessary steps to ensure our long-term competitiveness going forward. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Mr. Jeff Mason, MEDC's Chief Executive Officer.
Thank you, Kara, and thank you everyone for being here this morning. Having grown up in Grand Rapids, I know, like many of you, how special a place Grand Rapids is. A place of great natural beauty, architecture, and promise. A city that is in tune with the residents and the business community. Few other cities in Michigan, or for that matter America, demonstrate the vital importance of having a vision for economic development that reflects the values and ambitions of its community. In fact, GR is rated the 12th best place in the country to live. U.S. News and World Report cited the city's public art scene, craft breweries, healthy job market, and affordable housing as reasons for that ranking. Today we add another distinction. Grand Rapids is a great place to invest. This designation as an RRC community is yet another sign of how Grand Rapids is truly collaborative and understands the dynamic partnership between private investors and the public sector in attracting investment, fostering economic opportunity, and creating a community where people want to live, work, and play. There are many signs of the ongoing investment in GR. For example, the new Monroe homes at River Edge, or the Jackson Entertainment Studio Park project, or the Bridge and Stocking redevelopment, just to name a few. These are but a few examples of how great this city is developing a community with a strong sense of place. Congratulations to the City of Grand Rapids for achieving the Redevelopment Ready certification, a sign that demonstrates to community stakeholders and investors that GR has a unified vision, a streamlined process, and is ready to further support development investment. With this type of leadership and vision, GR is bound to accomplish even greater things. And with that, I'd like to invite the mayor up and present her with the official certification.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That's beautiful. Thank you.
You bet.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
Thanks. Well, I'm gonna end our time together with just a few thoughts. Thank you so much. What a delight it is to be here to celebrate this milestone. I'm gonna add my thanks to city staff who worked so hard to bring us here today. Also want to give a shout out to my colleague, Commissioner Kelly, I wish other commissioners were able to join us today, but I'm so grateful that she's here and for your leadership. So of course, this is a step in the right direction, but we all know that we have a lot more work to do. And we are able to do that in our city largely because of all of you in this room. If we want our city to continue to be a city that is great for business, great for development, great for investment, but also where we strengthen our local diverse economy and we continue to attract business, it really takes all of us in this room. And we are here today really because of all the work that's been done leading up to today, but also because of our strong partners. And I want to give a huge shout out to The Right Place. They are our our allies in this work. We rely on them. They not only represent our city, but they represent entire West Michigan, and they are a strong voice in Lansing for us. So thank you for your partnership. Also, the Grand Rapids Chamber, appreciate you being here today, and then the MEDC. We wouldn't be able to do this work without you. You've invested a lot in this community. You come to the table. When we have a sticky problem, you put your heads together and you help us try to figure it out. So we are going to be and continue to be a great city, really because of all of you in this room and your continued partnership. We look forward to the days ahead where we're going to start working on our strategic plan around economic development and what does that mean for our city. And again, we're not going to do that in isolation. We're going to do that with the partners in this room. And I believe we have a bright future because of all of you. So thank you so much. It's a delight to be here and to accept this certification. Thank you.